So this morning, it's what, 6 o'clock, 6:11, I think it's what it's the 24th. So 24th of January. So yeah, I'm just going to do a quick vlog on hair care. So for me, I'll give you my quick story when it comes to my hair care. So pretty much, yeah, my mother used to obviously be the one that did a lot of my grooming, as opposed to really my father. And, she used to do things like part my hair, things like that. I didn't really keep a lot of hair. Like when I was young, probably about this size. This is kind of a, I guess, kinky, curly-ish afro of some sort. My hair is not too nappy, but does get tangled and kinky and a little nappy, depending on what I'm doing. It really more like locks. My hair does lock a little bit. And I do think, I don't know how like dready my hair would get if I really just let it lock. Maybe I could really get dreadlocks just the natural way, just by not combing my hair, just washing it once in a while and letting it lock without any like beeswax or anything like that. But I don't really want that to happen, because the only way to undo the locks at that point would be to cut it off, and I'm just trying to grow my hair out as long as possible. So anyway, so my mother used to do that, but pretty much, as I got older, it was just pretty much haircut after haircut after haircut, like every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every month. Which wasn't bad, but it was mainly more out of convenience and efficiency, just cut it rather than having to worry about what my hair looks like. And yeah, I probably look a little more European when my hair is cut bald, because, my afro is no longer noticeable. And then also when I shave, or when I started shaving. I didn't really need to shave in high school, although I was forced to shave, as all the students were, all the boys were. But really, I really didn't need to shave. I mean, I would have done much better if I hadn't shaved and waited until maybe my 30s or even 40s, because I really didn't have a lot of hair on my face. But I didn't mind it at the time. But knowing what I know now, yeah, I'm a little disappointed that that was even forced. Pretty much, it would have been better just to forego shaving, unless I was going to get hired for a job and paid buku bucks, where I decided to shave for that. But that's really, a different situation. So anyway, with the hair care, pretty much, I used to use different, well, really things my mother had. I used a lot of her different products. There was this pink oil thing, we had this green oil thing. I don't really know what all the names of them were. Some of them had different scents. Some didn't smell too bad. Some I didn't really like so much because the scents, like, it was just too strong, or, not exactly what I wanted to smell every single day. So I go for more like non-fragranted scents. But later on, I used to just use lotion, because the lotion wasn't as greasy and as oily, and it was softer. So certain lotions, like I can't remember the exact names, but there was a specific lotion that I did end up buying, as opposed to going through all the different products. Partly because I didn't really have the time. I was so focused on academics as well as soccer initially, but later on academics, that I really just didn't want to waste my time trying to figure out which product would be the best, especially since I really didn't know as much as I know now. Now I'm starting to look through some products, and I might revisit this vlog, or do another one if I do this in more detail later on, but I'm not really planning to go through all these products as I was thinking at one point. I did go, over at the Prudential, kind of stop at a couple places, really. It was this salon called Escape, which has some Aveda products. The salon looked really great. Looks like they probably know what they know, and know a lot. So we started talking to them about my hair and finding out what they had. And there I tried, 2 or 3 products. They had this hair oil thing, which was a very fine oil, not like a greasy oil. It's more like cooking oil kind of quality. And that was really light, didn't feel too bad. More like what I would want, but a little too light for my type of hair. At least for me, because it wasn't really adding much. I could maintain that kind of oil just by knowing how to wash my hair properly, which is what I'll get to, because that's really the conclusion pretty soon. But and then they had this other one, which was more like a conditioning moisturizer, which was really good. It was pretty good. I didn't get to try too much of it. I didn't want to take a lot in the store, but if I consider definitely purchasing it. And if I get one, maybe I'll try that one and purchase it, where I can really, put it in different volumes into my hair and see how it feels, you know, at that point, and then even say after washing with hot water, not shampoo. So yeah, I like this place, so maybe I'll go back. But I also then went to Sephora and talked to you know, a couple of different people there who were both actually really helpful, and they showed me some products there, and I wrote down those ones somewhere on here. Yeah, so they had this product called Diva Curl, and then a Diva Leave-In Conditioner Curl Styling Cream, and then a Diva Conditioner, and some other Diva something else. So I tried, a Diva Super Cream. I don't know if it was a super cream, but it was definitely some form of the Diva cream. That actually worked really well for a while, although it was too thick, made my hair very thick. I didn't mind it. It wasn't like hard or, you know, unmanageable, but it was just a little thicker. I could feel that. It felt, and in some ways, a little dirty, to be quite honest, because when it's that thick with that product, which is sticky, that's going to attract more dirt into my hair, just even from the atmosphere, and I don't want that. But it was not bad. It was closer to what I would probably be willing to do. I mean, at this point, I'd probably still use some basic cream or moisturizer, like, let me see. Yeah. I have one jar, which is just really for skin, but I prefer it because it's really light and doesn't feel so dirty, which is Nivea. So it's this. It's a refreshingly soft moisturizing cream, and it has jojoba oil, vitamin E, and invigorated and smooth skin, rather. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I would be still using, and I have some other things that I could try and use. My sister, you know, left a couple things that I could even use too, but quite honestly, what I'm trying to do is maximize the natural oils in my hair and maintain the cleanliness still of my hair, because I do want to keep my hair clean too, but I prefer that approach because, one, I don't have to add anything to it. Obviously, two, it's much more economical. I'm not wasting money on replenishing oils in my hair that I could just keep in my hair in a cleanly way. And three, it's probably healthier. I mean, not just probably, it's almost definitely healthier. I mean, unless I'm exposing myself to like harsh environments where I need to add some kind of extra layer over my skin, scalp, and hair, you know, it doesn't really make sense to keep putting things on my body over and over again. And, you know, it doesn't really end up being that fun, you know, having to do it daily, for instance. So that was one of the big reasons why I started on this venture. I just don't want to keep doing all those things daily. How do I keep myself clean and, you know, do the minimal things that will make myself clean and presentable without having to, you know, go through everything all the time, every day, which becomes one big ordeal and one big routine every morning and night and all that, and it just gets tiring when there's so much more to life than body care. All right, so anyway, let's see, what were the other products? So this was at Sephora again, which actually is a store founded in France, only like 18 or 19 years ago. So then there was this other product that this guy actually was, so one other product was called Be Curly. I think I tried a little bit of that one. And then there was another product, Rumble. I didn't get to try that one yet, but I might go back too. And Brigio castor oil, I did try that, which was pretty much just castor oil in a very expensive bottle. So that ends up being very expensive castor oil. It was a nice bottle, no doubt, but is the bottle really worth that increase in margins for that company? You know, maybe for them. I'm not sure if it is for me as a customer. But yeah, the castor oil was way too thick too. I didn't really like that either. So I don't like that in my hair. But, the one that he was saying I should really try is this one called Madame C.J. Walker. You know, and this was a Caucasian guy who knew about this stuff. And then the other girl was like a Dominican girl who was helping me with some of the other stuff too. So it was a Dominican girl who's, you know, she's about my skin color. Probably she thinks our hair is actually similar. And then the Caucasian guy who told me about Madame C.J. Walker, who is actually probably, from what he said, an African-American woman from New Orleans who became the first woman billionaire on Earth, which I was kind of surprised to hear because I would have expected that to be like a Caucasian woman, maybe a French woman, a German, or a British or a Canadian or a white American. So if that's, you know, that's probably true. I have no reason to doubt his word. He seemed like he really knew what he was talking about. But, you know, I'll probably, you know, look her up at some point and see what I find, probably on Wikipedia at the least. So anyway, but yeah, he said her products are really good, and so I might be willing to go back and try some of those just to see what they feel like. I don't want to do it too much because my hair now is at the level of kind of oiliness, or that I that is comfortable for me, or the level of yeah. But so I don't really want to mess with it. But at the same point, I might as well just get to the point of my vlog, which is that what I do for my hair care now, rather than buying a lot of expensive shampoos and conditioners, and it's not because I didn't like using those products. They're a lot of fun to use in the shower, but afterwards, especially since I'm not playing sports as much and I'm not exercising as much and I'm not running as much, which gets my sweat glands working, gets my body to excrete those oils and gets it back into my hair. What happens is my hair stays really dry afterwards, and then it gets really frizzy and more kinky. It starts to get more tangled, and I don't know if that's when it's nappiest or not. I'm not really clear on the different degrees of nappiness, in terms of what's the nappiest type of hair. I just know mine is definitely not the nappiest. Partly because of my skin color. But anyway, the point is that when I was using all those products, yeah, it was a lot of fun then. As an athlete especially, it was a lot of fun. The oils would get right back into my hair, mainly because I was exercising a lot, and those sebaceous glands were secreting oils right through my scalp and, out from my scalp or from the hair follicles or wherever exactly those little ducts are, or outlets are, and into through my hair, But now that I'm not doing it as much, I notice that dryness, persists much longer, and then I have to, it takes me like a week or 2 weeks or even up to a month in the summertime up here in Boston, Massachusetts. And then in the winter, and the reason why I kind of went, on these little, went to check out these hair products is because I decided to wash my hair with shampoo and conditioner because I wanted to. And, I kind of missed washing my hair with shampoo and conditioner. But, I didn't realize how dry my hair would get since it was already the winter time. I did that this past December, and my hair was still dry, and it's now January, and so I was like, I might need to buy something, or at least find something, or try some things to get some oil back into my hair in the meantime, since it's this cold up here, and my oils just aren't going to form, and I'm not going to be going out to play a lot of sports or soccer, and I'm not planning to ramp up in exercise, high-intensity exercise, to get my body to sweat more and to get my oils secreted. So yeah, I probably won't be washing my hair as much in the winter ever again, which means I won't be doing a lot of dirty stuff in the winter. There's no doubt about that. But what I do, and what I think I will do going forward, what I'm kind of planning to do at this point, is just to keep washing my hair with warm to hot water, and no shampoo and no conditioner. I'd washed it with the shampoo and noticed, this was over the course of the last year and a half, I noticed that my hair would dry out after the shampoo. I started reading about shampoos. I found an excellent article by this Brazilian Caucasian woman on hair care, specifically for non-whites. And yeah, she pointed out that, the shampoos damage the hair. She pointed out perming damages his hair and the hair follicle. That verified that, and I was just like, yeah, probably, I can move on from the shampoos. It's not that big a deal. But obviously I want to maintain my cleanliness. And so that's why, I started with the hot water washes, and I just in the shower, and that, was clean enough. And it was actually clean. It wasn't stripping my hair of the oils, and then it actually helps to distribute those little oils throughout my hair strands much better, rather than stripping all those oils out of my hair with shampoo, which take quite a long time to replace, especially as I'm getting older. So then after that, I was like, well, maybe the conditioners won't be as harsh. And so I did try a conditioner. Some guy, he stayed the night by my apartment. He was this homeless guy. I saw him at Prudential, invited him over. He stayed over and he gave me a couple things. He gave me a pulse oximeter that he had because he found out that I was a doctor. And then he also gave me that this bottle of conditioner, half bottle of conditioner. And so actually, I'll show that to y'all too. So I decided to use that one without any shampoo. So I just washed my hair in hot water, or with hot water in the shower, and then use this one fructis. I mean, this stuff isn't horrible. Don't get me wrong. This is not the worst stuff in the world. These are some finer points for hair care for me, and for people definitely of my phenotype, and probably for all colors. Even whites and blacks. Really black people and really white Caucasians. And obviously Italians and Europeans and Portuguese and Brazilians and Jamaicans, Chinese, those are the ones that are closer to my phenotype. Definitely multiracial, biracial people. But, who will be close to my phenotype too. But anyway, the point is that, it still stripped my hair of its natural oils. Not as much as a shampoo, but more than I expected. Because it doesn't really stay well in the hair. And maybe it's because the molecules are so processed and refined that it doesn't have the attaching qualities of the natural oils. But, so yeah, I really won't be using this. I might just use this stuff on my beard for a while to soften it. But I'm definitely not going to be using it on the hair of my head. Because it doesn't leave it the way I like it, and my hair is not as healthy, regardless of how my hair looks. And that's the other thing I've realized and concluded. Yeah, it's great to have hair that looks a certain way with all the gel and all that crap people want to put in there. I mean, it's not horrible if you like it, but I know I don't really like it, even how some of it looks. And I know it's not as healthy, and I also know it's a big waste of money. For me, aesthetics really comes from the physical structure of a person. Not really what they can do to enhance it. Sure, some enhancements don't look too bad and aren't horrible, and but the greatest and perfectest aesthetics is just really from genetics. So that is what I look for, and that's what I go for, and that's what I've always gone for. Even in the women that I date, I'm not, I don't exclude any woman at all, but when I have a choice or a preference, obviously I go for the one that's genetically, aesthetically pleasing to me. Which is a form of eugenics. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it might not be genocide, but it's definitely eugenics. And I'm, not that I'm trying to get to genocide, but quite honestly, yeah, I don't deny that stuff. And yes, it's also a form of racism. It's not always focused on skin color, but it is, one aspect. And, that's human and inherent and innate, and that's not changing ever for humanity. All right, so anyway, my point is the hair care. Yep. So pretty much for me, just to summarize what I really do for my hair care now, it's just washing my hair maybe once in a while, like once a week, once every couple of weeks, once a month, depending on how much I'm doing, how much time I have, and, like when I want to relax, and for instance, when I wash my hair with hot water and a hot shower, take a hot shower, wash my body and my hair, that helps me to relax a lot. So I enjoy it. But I don't use any shampoo and I don't use any conditioner, and afterwards I don't have to add any moisturizer. If I do need to add a moisturizer, for now I'm probably going to stick with just this cream, which is Nivea. It's a Nivea soft cream. It's really for skin. It's made for skin, but it's a really soft, light texture cream, just as it says right on there. And it's not too expensive, which is the other big thing. And it's more than enough. And then I can just, put it in my hair and then kind of just wash it out over time and decrease the amount of it in my hair. And my natural oils during that time will build up. And probably it'll just be in the winter. So this will probably last me a long time too, which is what, $3, $4, $5, $6 or something. And this one I actually got because some girl, I think it's a girl, could have been a guy, but I'm pretty sure it's usually an Asian girl, but I'm just not sure. I've never seen her. So anyway, but the point is some human put that on the donation table downstairs and left it behind for some reason. So, but that's the stuff that I used to buy. So that was really the cream, Nivea. And the reason how I learned about, a lot of this stuff was really trial and error when my mother used to buy, when I was living with my mother as a kid in high school or, going through all her stuff. And it wasn't just hair stuff, like any bath product, all that stuff. She bought a lot of different stuff all the time. So it was certain bath cubes, bath salts, bubble bath stuff, soaps, shampoos and stuff. And I would just go through all that. I didn't use all of it, but there was some that I really did like. And then she even had like toners for the skin, and I used to try those, and, some worked and stuff. And I liked it more when I was younger. I enjoyed doing it, partly because I was so bored and had so much time. But was it really necessary? No, probably not. I mean, the most important thing is probably just showering with lukewarm to hot water. And then the other thing, when it comes to hair care and, body care, quite honestly, the essentials is just washing with lukewarm to hot water. And if you do need soap, and when you do want soap, if you really, want to economize that to the minimal, like if you really want to be as frugal as possible and minimize those costs and be in a, still be presentable enough that, people won't be, won't have an issue with your body odor, all you have to do is wash your armpits, pubic hair, genital area, and anus with soap. With that, those are the parts where soap will make a difference, and obviously get an affordable but very high quality soap. Skipping on soap, it does not make sense. You really, and I do, like I really do take my time to buy high quality soaps that make a difference for me. For instance, Dove is a decent company for soap. Obviously, Johnson & Johnson, they have some soap. There's a lot of different soaps. Most of them are okay, to be quite honest. But there are some that I wouldn't get or use because they're just not the greatest. Surfactants. I think what is surfactant? I'm pretty sure there's still surfactants. Which is interesting. On another note, surfactant is also something found in the lungs. So if soap really is also a surfactant, like I'm thinking right now, that could be wrong. I'll probably Google it to double check. But then, it's interesting. There's some chemical connection. I just don't know all the details. Maybe Matthew McCarthy would. He did molecular biology. Went to Yale and Harvard. And he went to Bishop Moore High School. Anyway, point is, wash your hair with lukewarm to hot water. I'm pretty sure that will work for anybody of any race. And if you're on a budget, not joking, that will make the difference. And don't overwash your body, especially if you're on a budget, economical, or consider yourself to be poor, because you're just going to waste those natural oils that are healthy for your skin. If you're really poor and you really are homeless, and there are some other reasons not to wash your body when you're homeless. I'll touch on that in this video too at the end. But if you're really poor and you're really, figure out your health, that will help so much. Not joking. I mean, that will bring wealth beyond belief, even if you don't have a lot in the bank account. I'm in that situation in my personal bank account. But knowing when to wash and how to wash is what makes a difference. So, for instance, with lukewarm to hot water, and doesn't have to be daily, to be quite honest. The thing to go by is really the smell test. Just take your time and kind of sniff yourself a little bit. You don't have to rub your nose all up in your body everywhere, but just, figure out how to sniff your different parts of your body. And then, holy shit. So that was sniff different parts of your body. And then what will happen is, the ones that are malodorous to you, definitely wash those with a little bit of soap. And you don't need a lot of soap, just enough, and that will help to reduce the bacterial load in those areas, and which will reduce the scent, and it will freshen up. It's not really, you have to understand, with soap, you're not really covering up the smell. You're actually, it's actually cleaning the area. It's actually removing dirt. It's actually removing germs and things like that. And it's gentle enough. It's not antiseptic, which you don't want to be antiseptic, just cleanly. And then, whereas, with fragrances, that actually is just masking odors, kind of. I mean, the odor is still there. I know when I'm around people who just use deodorant and just use, perfumes instead of knowing how to clean themselves, I can smell some of that odor integrated into those other scents, which makes it even more disgusting to me. So I would just, learn how to use a little bit of soap, invest in some nice soaps, don't overuse them, but know how to clean your body and hair, as, I am doing, with lukewarm to hot water. And, if you like hot water, go for it, but lukewarm should work, but hot water might be a little bit more effective in cleanliness, although lukewarm water might be a little bit better for health. All right, those are some minor details. Hopefully that helps. That's my vlog for the day. And it's going to take me a while to get all these videos uploaded, but I'll eventually get to all these. So this is maybe 3, 4, 5 days after actually filming the video when it is finally uploaded. Maybe longer. All right, so that's my vlog on my hair care. Oh, there was that other thing, homelessness. So why is it when homeless people are homeless, they don't shower? You know, yes, one, there could be a mental health component. True, I'm not saying that there isn't, but is it really because they're schizophrenic? Is it really because they have mental health problems? Yes and no. That's, it seems to be more of a relative thing than an absolute thing on that factor. The reason why, if you grew up in a household where your parents didn't know how to clean themselves, then that kid's not going to know how to clean themselves. But if they're around people or an environment outside of their household of people who clean themselves well, then they're probably going to want to figure it out. And just because, they can read and write doesn't mean it's going to register so efficiently or effectively. So it takes trial and error. So I know for some homeless people, for me, mine wasn't that bad, but there are some things that my mother did that, yes, just is not healthy. And as a result, I had to take my time to figure out, well, why is it not healthy? If she's, employed and doing well and in her career and living her life, then, why does it even make sense for me to try to undo some of those things that I'm realizing weren't as healthy and to superiorize my health? But, the more and more I did that and just took the time to unwork some of those things and at least figure out what I could do and what I can do and what my brain can handle, I started to find the little things that did make a difference, and it kept getting easier and easier, although I was in a more difficult place, perhaps, than had I just stuck it out with some high-powered career at that point and tried to get as much money and paid people. But yeah, that approach didn't work as well either because it was just too stressful and I wasn't really taking care of myself to the level that it would necessitate to get through a career like that. There's just a lot of biology that I really didn't know, even though I was a biology major. And a lot of medicine and surgery, obviously, but a lot of biology. So that was the first, that's one factor, which is knowledge. That's a factor of knowledge. And Harvard made a difference. Medical school made a difference for me, as well as college and high school and all that. But definitely Harvard, that community made a big difference for me in that way. Getting to see the difference and be around it and be around an elite group of people of all different races and be clear, like, wow, the whites know. Wow, the non-whites know. Wow, there's Spanish who know. There's Hispanics who know. Wow, the Asians know. And the blacks know. The Congoids even know. So I was like, holy shit, I got to figure this out. And so that propelled me forward even faster. And that, I got at Harvard. I know I wouldn't have gotten that at a lot of other med schools. Even Yale, for instance, I don't think I would have gotten to that degree. I think Yale I would be suffering through as a quasi-white student trying to figure the whole thing out on my own. Whereas Harvard, it was like, holy shit, look at the difference. And there were so many non-whites and multiracial students and black students that, that were well represented as intelligent people. It became even more more noticeable to me, rather. Which is another reason why I have so much insight into the, race and intelligence and things like that and humanity. Because, while, yes, all these people were aspiring to be intelligent, I still was able to identify experiential experiential things, like my experiences, basically. Basically, I was able to identify that there were still differences amongst the races, even at Harvard. They have the elite of people from all different races as best as it can get at almost any institution. Maybe Oxford is the other one on that level. But yet, there were still differences between the Caucasians and the blacks, Caucasians and the Hispanics, the Caucasians and the Asians, and vice versa, the blacks and the Asians, the blacks and the Hispanics, the Hispanics rather, the blacks and the Latinos or whatever, all those groups, all those distinct groups. And so, that's one of the reasons why I delved into that. So yeah, that's definitely a research topic I'm going to continue with throughout my lifetime. There's no doubt about that. That's so present to me and so obvious. And since there's so much confusion around that, I might as well help to settle that confusion. And I'm definitely planning to have some seminal papers on that at some point. But it's taking time because it does take time to finish things up, to keep things going, and then to make sure that I take my time to do it properly every single time with that, so that it's well recorded and well documented and well written. But I'm definitely going to get some of that, and I'm pretty sure I'll have some articles in Scient Periodique regarding that. And then, anyway, so that, that's one thing. I went on, one large tangent. So back to the homelessness and why some of these people don't shower. So one was, just starting from a family that's not taking well care of themselves, and, being in a situation where they realize that, and so they're trying to change the course of their livelihood, and as a result have to figure it out on their own. So self-care, changes. Not that it dwindles to the null, but it definitely changes. And figuring it out, it kind of takes trial and error. Not doing it ever, then doing it all the time kind of thing. Another reason is, and this is a more practical reason, especially in the north, but it's not just the north, everywhere on Earth. I mean, while yes, the tropics are hotter, and yes, the temperatures vary. I mean, the reality is Earth is cold no matter where you are on Earth. That is really the truth. That's another absolute thing that I concluded and came to. Yes, I know there's a lot of little, brilliant little scientists, budding scientists that are going to try to deny that crap and all that kind of shit and be like, well, the equator is hot, hot, hot. But the truth is, even if you're at the equator and you're naked and it's nighttime, you're going to be cold. There's no doubt about it. You will feel a chill and you will feel cold. So ultimately, as a homeless person, one reason not to shower and not to get wet is just because you're going to get too cold. And I've met several homeless people, more than one. I've actually two. Definitely one guy who told me his whole story. I think it's at least two who got amputations because of frostbite. They got wet while they were sleeping outside. And one guy, his legs were hanging out from beyond this little cement overhang thing. He was sleeping in front of some business, and his legs got wet at night. He didn't realize it, and they were like freezing by the morning. So, if you go and shower, even if you're inside, you have towels, it can dry off afterwards. You're still going to be cold afterwards, and then you have to put all those clothes back on and go right back outside to be homeless yet again. So, showering every day just doesn't make sense anymore as a homeless person. And I definitely went through that and realized, there's no reason to shower. And the other thing is when it's cold, the smells do not permeate the air as quickly because of the density of the air. So those molecules just don't disperse as quickly as compared to the summertime when it's hot or warm. So no one's really smelling those bodies as much. And that's definitely a factor too. And I definitely noticed that. And then the other thing is, it just starts to become comfortable not to shower. I mean, especially if, for me, where I was probably showering way too much, my body, my skin started feeling better, a little smoother. I did notice, after, you say months, it wasn't even days or weeks, it was like months of not showering, that I would get like certain little like skin debris that would come off of my skin, if I went to shower. And it was really noticeable. But so that prompted me to be like, oh, well, I definitely should shower, at some frequency, but, definitely not daily. So I don't really shower daily anymore. And not even weekly all the time. But I also am not, exercising a lot or doing a lot of hard labor. So, So what else? Oh, and then another reason why homeless people don't shower as much is also the cost of showering. Every time you shower, that's another cost. And it's not just a financial, it all can be translated into financial costs, don't get me wrong. But it's not that it's just, a monetary one. It's also a cost of energy, which can be factored in as a financial cost too. Meaning when you decide, to shower, it takes some energy to shower. You have to wash your body, you have to move. Anytime you move, you're using energy. And as a result, it just gets less expensive not to shower. But yeah, I think most of the homeless people I've come across, they do notice, they're smelling or this or that, and they'll go take a shower somewhere, find a public bathroom, a public bath, or, at the beach, a shower head at the beach that's outside, or a shelter, or maybe a friend in an apartment, or even some, might stay a night in a hotel if they save enough money. I definitely did that once in Cambridge. where I paid for a room, and it was a cold, cold night in that room too. But I wanted to see the inside of that place, and I wanted to kind of just take a night to relax. So I paid for that full cost as a homeless man, a vagabond. But anyway, so those are some reasons. So anyway, just to summarize, the main point when it comes to my hair care, it is really just hot water without anything else, which keeps my hair cleanly and helps to disperse my natural oils through my hair. Those oils really aren't dirty, but I think some people do think they are. And that keeps my hair looking better and healthier and feeling way better. My hair feels good. All right, so that's it for the day. If you guys like this video. If you want to subscribe, that'd be great. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I only have 15. And definitely view my videos, share, and comment. All right, well, they'll be there, hopefully for eternity, because I'm not planning to delete any of my videos ever.